Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show. Welcome to my show. You know, they just announced more people applying for unemployment now, so it's approaching 30 million people out of work. And I know one thing that happens when you have a recession, and some people are saying a depression, hopefully not, is networking groups begin to really heat up. And I can't think of anyone better to talk about networking than Mark Washum. He is the one of the founders of Abundance Connectors. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jeff. Happy to be here. Appreciate it.
Yes. Well, you and I have known each other for many, many years, and you are one of those guys that it's not unusual to see you in 3 or 4 different networking groups in a week. When did you start networking?
So yes, as far as networking groups, started them 24 years ago, and that was a weekly group that is still actually going on. The Abundance Group is a monthly group that we throw a big gathering once a month, cocktail parties, and have over 100 people.
Well, there's a lot of people watching this video who have never networked before. They don't even know what a networking event is. Sometimes it can look like a cocktail party. It can just be people gathering, but there's some rules of the road, right? There are some things that you don't want to do in a networking situation. Let's talk about some of the do's and don'ts.
Good. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, any networking group, virtual or face-to-face, you want to be very organized. You want to have your business cards with you. You want to be looking good, of course, but you want to be very intentional about a quick little 10-second about what you're about, but be very sincere about how can I help you? Because the more referrals you give, the more you get back. So that's always been our motto for 24 years.
Yes, the late, great Zig Ziglar said famously, you can have anything you want as long as you let other people have what they want first. And I know those are words that you live by. So, death of a salesman, somebody who comes in there with a bunch of business cards and just wants to, pass out business cards, that person is really has no audience at all. And in some groups, they'll show him the door, right?
Some groups, they won't even allow them in the door.
Yes.
So agreed with you there in that regard. You've got to have the spirit of helping each other. It's not throwing out business cards. It's really getting to know each other, drill down, and really help each other, especially this day and age with what's going on. These Zoom virtual meetings we have that every week with Abundance Connectors, it is really helping us. We're like a Venus flytrap, if you would, a reason to talk to people, Abundance Connectors.
Well, so let's talk about the virtual connection, because a physical cocktail party or networking event, some people can navigate that. What happens when you're, you just have a bunch of people on the screen? How do you navigate that?
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, there is definitely a skill set there. Been very blessed that one of my staff members, David Dustin with Backstage Concepts. He's big time into Zoom virtual meetings. We're very organized. We've got graphics of all the ambassadors for each group. We've got graphics for all the professions we're looking for. And we keep everybody pretty quick, 30-second info, and then information how to contact people. So yeah, definite skill set to make it worth our while.
I run into people all the time who are wallflowers, and they say, well, I'm just not good at this stuff. Crowds make me nervous. Getting into a room of strangers, that's not my thing. But really, Mark, it's being a great listener and asking great questions. It's not like you're doing a one-person show, right?
Good point. But most of the people that are in the Abundance Connectors, they are A personalities, especially right now with the virtual, that we are big time being pros, follow up, calling each other on a daily basis, giving hot referrals, and bringing in new talent to keep building the groups. We've been very blessed at Abundance Connectors. We have 3 groups right now in the Metroplex going. Every Thursday we have a Zoom. Every other Tuesday we've got roughly 20 plus ambassadors in each group. But you've got to be proactive, especially these days.
Tell people why it's important to get out there. One of my favorite expressions is you have to circulate to percolate. The person who's sitting at home feeling sorry for themselves because they got laid off, trying to do it all through LinkedIn, nothing against LinkedIn, but you really don't build meaningful connections without some kind of networking group. Do you, Mark?
Yeah, agreed. I've been very blessed. I'm surrounded with very positive people that we chat with each other almost every day, like a Jay Mamie. Jay is known for his motivational speaking, Peter Leahy, Nigel Branson. So this day right now, with a lot of people going underground, we reach out to each other, keep each other pumped up. With the Zoom every Thursday, we have a reason to call people and think positive. So real good point in that regards, Jeff.
Absolutely. Do you see, and I know if you've been networking as long as you have, during downturns like the Great Recession, did you see an increase in the numbers of people networking?
Oh yeah, good point. When it was tough times, one of my groups got up to 90 members. So
Wow.
Right now we're actually getting more members on, plus we're opening up other groups all over the Metroplex, plus a couple other cities like Las Vegas, out in Fort Worth. We've got people that are interested in having an Abundance Connectors group, franchising. So yeah, right now it's even more important to network and connect, as we call it.
Let's talk about the importance of the follow-up, because I know when I'm in a networking situation, sometimes I'm meeting dozens of people and I'll get their business card, and without them looking, watching me do it, sometimes I'll make a little note to myself just to remind myself that this is a person you need to follow up with, and maybe some description of what he or she was wearing. Follow-up is really important, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Jeff. Good point. Yeah, business cards, if you're really working the crowd or virtual, make notes on people. But the bottom line is, especially these days, don't wait on them to follow up and call you 2 days later. I call people a day after the meeting. It usually goes into voicemail. It takes them 2 days to get back. So right now, you've got to be extremely proactive. And the nice thing with Abundance Connectors, you have a reason to reach out to your friends and clients and let them know about a great group that meets every Thursday on Zoom, 3:00. Zoom Thursday.
Outstanding. Well, we're almost out of time for this segment. So go ahead and let's put up your website and give everybody the domain name.
Yes, the domain, abundanceconnectors.com. On there, it will show all the different groups we're in. If you'd like to call me straight out, that would be great. Or email me, that would be great. I think that's on the information you're putting out also, right, Jeff?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mark, you've been a great guest. Thank you so much for the tips.
We appreciate your friendship, my friend.
You bet.
Take care. Bye-bye.
We'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you.